Welcome to Crypto Bubble, the channel where we dive together into the exciting universe of cryptocurrencies. Hey crypto enthusiasts, it's Roger, your guide in the heart of the crypto bubble. Before we delve into the thrilling world of the latest news and analyses, don't forget to hit that subscribe button to stay tuned, and smash that little blue thumb if you're ready to explore the depths of the market with me. It's going to be an epic adventure, so get ready, sit back, and join me on this journey to the moon. The crypto market ready to bounce back. That's what we're going to see. In any case, if the market continues to weaken, I think there are some very good opportunities being set up. We'll see about that in the second half. To begin with, I'd like to talk a little about macroeconomics. Welcome to a world of exceptional opportunities. Click now on the link for our free ebook to discover projects that could multiply your success. Sign up to receive this exclusive ebook that could change your life. But wait, an even incredible opportunity awaits you on our free Telegram group. Join us now for crypto updates and privileged insights. Explore our exclusive partner offers with exceptional discounts. Don't wait, the opportunity is now. Crypto Bubble, the future is calling. Click now, reshape your future. The links in the description await you. We haven't talked about macroeconomics for a long time. As you know, there's the next ECB meeting and above all next week, the 30th and 31st, the next Fed meeting. Obviously, the billion-dollar question is, when will the ECB and the Fed cut rates? There is increasing talk of the ECB cutting rates even faster than expected, potentially as early as March. It's back on the agenda, whereas not so long ago, there were some minor disappointments, some fears, and we were talking more about the second quarter, or even the second half of the year. So I don't think anything is going to happen at ECB or Fed level over the next fortnight. On the other hand, the speeches, as usual, will be closely scrutinized because they will provide information on the tempo and timing of the downturn. This can be super important on traditional financial markets as well as on crypto markets. You know, providing liquidity is always a good thing in markets, especially risky ones like crypto markets. I think that in the coming months, it's what's going to be in the news that's going to have a big impact on the financial markets. The next big news will be lobbying in April, but it will also be the possible rate cuts by the Fed and the ECB. So it's really something very important that we are obviously going to be following on this channel. Then, of course, we'll continue to follow ETFs in particular. The crazy thing is that there are already 4 billion assets under management. Imagine all the different ETFs. That's as much as MicroStrategy, which must have 6.1 billion, something like that. And I think that ETFs, in particular BlackRock and Fidelity, are going to grow fast. In any case, after a few months, at least after 12 months, I think they'll overtake MicroStrategy. What you need to understand, though, is that when Fidelity and BlackRock buy ETFs, especially Fidelity, don't forget, manages the pensions of Americans, civil servants, private companies and so on. And so when they buy ETFs, Bitcoin isn't a short-term investment, we manage pensions. So it's a 5-year, 10-year, 20-year investment, and so it's going to dry up the market and especially dry up the market for the very long term. So, even if you can't see it in the prices yet, it's very important. And of course, we'll be following Grayscale's Bitcoin sales. I think Grayscale will soon be more hated than Garrigan's at the SEC if they continue to sell 500 million Bitcoins every day. But somehow, it's going to taper off. We're obviously going to follow it. We're going to follow it very closely, because we're looking at 500, 600 million almost every day. It started crescendoing with 95 million in the first few days, 480 million, 600 million. We're hoping this trend will ease off. At some point, it will, because as you know, their stock has fallen from 28 to 23 billion. Unless they want to completely liquidate their ETFs, at some point it should stop. And then it could be really bullish, because there will always be buying. In particular, we're looking at BlackRock and Fidelity, and it just keeps going up. That means that since the early days, BlackRock in particular has been buying $100 million, then $400 million, $200 million, $300 million, $200 million. So there you have it, some very fine volumes accumulated with Fidelity and others. It's a counterweight to what Grayscale is doing, which is starting to get on our nerves, so to speak. Next, it's very important and at the same time, we're going to talk about Coinbase shares. because I think there are some great opportunities there. I initiated a line. I told you about it at the end of 2023, and what's interesting is that the new warhorse now is going to be Coinbase against the SEC. We need a win. And now I'm starting to get some nice statistics. Now, these are just statistics and projections, and we're told that, roughly speaking, Coinbase has a 60% 10% chance of winning against the SEC. Of course, we hope they do, because you know what they're saying. The SEC is simply accusing Coinbase of selling securities, because it considers that, apart from Bitcoin, all the other altcoins are securities that Coinbase is accused of selling. And so this could be important, because if they win their case, Coinbase wins against the SEC. But above all, the fact that all altcoins are securities loses weight with the SEC, and inevitably gives a lot more weight, especially to the next ETF, which should be Ethereum. But you'll see, we can have surprises. As you know, I think it could be XRP, and why not another proof-of-work project based on Bitcoin, because that would be logical, for example Bitcoin Cash. But is there a demand? Will a bank launch an ETF on Bitcoin Cash? Now, I think if they did, they'd have a very good chance of it being accepted. Because if you accept an ETF on Bitcoin, there's absolutely no reason not to accept it on Bitcoin Cash. And imagine, perhaps, the Coinbase share on Litecoin. I think its share price is becoming very interesting. Let's go and take a look at it on an annual basis to see what happened. Hop. I'm glad I did. I bought on October, remember, it pumped really well, a bit like Bitcoin, and since then it's been really interesting. 187, we've got 124. I think it's pulling back a bit. It's getting close to $100. It's going to be a great opportunity. Quite simply, why am I thinking about Coinbase? Because Coinbase lives on transactions. You hear about it every time it's Grayscale. They send their Bitcoins and they sell them. So you see the millions, the 500 million and all that. Imagine, all these Grayscale sales bring in millions for Coinbase. And you know very well, Fidelity, BlackRock and all that, when they buy Bitcoin, they also go through Coinbase. So Coinbase is gorging itself. I can't wait to see the sales figures, because it's a listed company in which I'm a shareholder. But we'll see the figures, the sales and the first quarter results. I think we could be in for some very pleasant surprises. Coinbase has suffered enormously. It's the aftermath of what happened. It's lost 33% of its value. So, I think it's maybe one of the stocks like the miners today. You know I study a lot. I've invested too. But Coinbase, I think it's a super nice support to play the next boomerang. Then, it's pretty crazy because Solana transfers in stablecoins on the Solana blockchain. Imagined in a month, it traded. There have been stablecoin transfers on Solana of the order of 300 billion. It's completely crazy. Really the awakening of Solana. Honestly, I'd have it. I would never have bet on Solana a year ago. It was obviously trading. We're in the middle of the bear market. 11 billion. We've gone from 11 billion to 300 billion. It's completely insane. And above all, his share of the stablecoin exchange market is 32%. A year ago, it was 1.2%, so a year ago, it was non-existent. They've got almost a third, and just ahead of them is Ethereum, and they're starting to get close to Ethereum. It's completely crazy. The awakening of Solana, as you know. I personally didn't bet on this project. Well done to those who did. I think some great things could still happen with Solana. I'm not sure how to interpret that. This announcement is roughly Twitter. They've launched a kind of payments account, which has just been created on Twitter. We'll see right away. What does it mean? We don't know. There's been a bit of a bump on Deutsche, of course, as soon as it talks about payments on Twitter. But now we're going to say that people are ultra weary of things. I'm waiting for something concrete in relation to Twitter and the fact that potentially, but I don't talk about it too much, even if from time to time there are small ads. I'm talking about it now because it's something concrete, an account on X called Payment to Follow. And there's a weariness about Dogecoin, for example. I know it went up by digits but then it fell back down. That may be bad news, but at least they're going to sell in one go. Personally, I'd prefer Grayscale to get rid of it very quickly. There's some J.P. Morgan. In fact, there are two pieces of information. The first is JP Morgan, because JP Morgan, its boss, keeps sending out scuds about Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies on an almost daily basis. JP Morgan's big boss, while JP Morgan's analyses keep talking about crypto. So at some point, I don't really understand the big boss's position in relation to these employees. Quite simply, He'd have to be consistent with that. I don't understand how the bank and all the JP Morgan analysts can't stop talking about crypto when their big boss just said 3 days ago that Bitcoin will go to zero anyway. In fact, he said he'd stop talking about it. But, as you know, he can't stop talking about Bitcoin, and talking badly about it in particular, making you wonder if he isn't manipulating the market to make Bitcoin fall so that he can buy it. You'll see in a few weeks, in a few months. We're not safe from learning that this guy has. In fact, he's been buying Bitcoin calm like a pig for the whole month of January. But now he's telling us that potentially, it's the arbitragists who have made, I think, an exceptional move. Honestly, I don't understand why I didn't buy some GTAC back then. Roughly speaking, there was a 50% discount imagined at the end of 2020 to when it was worth 20,000 Bitcoins. Well, GTAC, you buy a Bitcoin for $10,000 because it was discounted by 50%, so given that it's gone up 3 times since the GTAC, they've gone up 6 times, and I told you about this approach. And so, the traders known as arbitrageurs are in the process of getting out as much as they can because they've made huge capital gains. I think that's what justifies a lot of this. It's not just the IGN fee, it's also the fact that a lot of people were locked in for a long time, and above all they had a huge discount, so they weren't necessarily selling them much. And this is a big window of opportunity for Grayscale, and that's important. It's BlackRock who, in the short term, I think we're not immune to a big surprise. I've put together a file to explain. BlackRock would give up because they don't know anything about it, would abandon its ETF project because of regulatory difficulties. We've talked about Coinbase versus the SEC, XRP versus the SEC, it's worse. It's a blood feud that's been going on for years and years. Welcome to a world of exceptional opportunities. Click now on the link for our free ebook to discover projects that could multiply your success. Sign up to receive this exclusive ebook that could change your life. But wait, an even incredible opportunity awaits you on our free Telegram group. Join us now for crypto updates and privileged insights. Explore our exclusive partner offers with exceptional discounts. Don't wait, the opportunity is now. Crypto bubble, the future is calling. Click now, reshape your future. The links in the description await you. I think for the sake of cryptocurrencies, whether you like ZARP or not, it's absolutely the same that XRP has to win for XRP to win. I think it would be good if Coinbase also won upstream. It would give the same result. It would be the third blade of the ETF. Bitcoin won against the SEC, Coinbase wins, ZARP wins, that would be 1. We mustn't forget that for the moment there are 3 zeros in the ZARP versus SEC battle, even if it's not yet won. And anything can happen very quickly in finance. All it takes is for ZARP to win definitively against the SEC. You'll see that I think BlackRock will file an ATF on ZARP. This may explain the momentary weakness in ZARP. The more opportunistic can take a position on ZARP by betting on the fact that they will win against the SEC, and then there will be ETFs on XRP. I think that in the top 10 for me it's one of the next to have an ETF in the next logical step. And then I missed the information. The information was 3 or 4 days ago, but I had missed it. It's that they're teaming up with Circle to enable crunchy transfers of CD6. It's pretty crazy because Shining, in the Oracle world, they're the leader and it's a huge business. But they've got their Skype offer that makes it possible. It's almost like a layer 0 crushing, and so they're coming in. They're going to be all over it. It's going to be the placement of a major move, I think, in RAR and even almost in a way in layer 0 since they launched CIP and scaling. I think that in the top 20, it's the one that will perform the best in the next boomerang. Then, in terms of the market, it's rather mixed. It's funny, as soon as the market goes down, you'll notice that names like X or Z keep going up, and as soon as the market picks up the names, volumes drop. It's been a long time since we've had such low volumes. This is a sign of indecision, because the financial market, the crypto market, like any other financial market, is a meeting of supply and demand. And you'll see, on the chart too, there's uncertainty. And if we have very, very little volume, it means that supply and demand are not meeting at the moment in Bitcoin, in Ethereum, and worse, an incredible fall. 4 4800ths is very, very low. Less than 10 billion in Bitcoin is very, very rare. So we're going to keep an eye on it. There's a lot of uncertainty. Is it going to pump them? Will it fall south? Honestly, we don't know. But there's a big, big uncertainty, and you're going to see it confirmed by other indicators. The other indicators are weekly. This week, we've got a huge move of uncertainty when you have a rod and a little line like this, a big candle of uncertainty. I haven't seen it for a long time. It's very, very rare to see candles like this, called a Japanese doji, and this to heralds uncertainty, and even trend reversals. It's clear that here and there's uncertainty, double uncertainty. It could be explosive. Personally, I think that next week will be explosive, and roughly speaking, it could be explosive both upwards and downwards. It's impossible to say, but doubling over a fortnight is a huge uncertainty. Not much to say about Bitcoin on a day-to-day basis. We're still in the process of trying to come back and catch up with this range, and if we don't, we're likely to go lower and lower, just like up here. We'll keep an eye on it and see how far it goes. More, Tau, it's not bad. The crazy thing is, I've got an ad blocker and I don't know why on TradingView the ads keep reappearing. Tau, a very, very nice resistance. Frankly, here I was seeing higher and lower. Is this another fake like here? I don't know, but in any case, there will be opportunities. A lot of people ask me, is this the right time to buy Tau for the long term? We've talked about it a lot here. I'd like to say no. Now, start buying it with the idea that if it goes down, you'll take it back. Why not? But in any case, buy them all at once. For example, if you want to invest, I don't know, I'm talking nonsense, €100 or €200. You really shouldn't put €200 in right away. You should put €20 in and wait a little while, hoping that it will go down, so that you can average it out. Because, on the whole, it's pretty risky right now, even if the potential for me is monstrous for the next boomerang. Then STX, I think it's going to go under 31.30 quite simply. I'll buy back my position here. It's one of the most attractive stocks on the market for me, and unfortunately it's in a pullback phase, which is quite classic, pullback explosion. And if you come back to the 20s, 30s, personally, at least, that would be my perfect scenario, and I know that many of you have sold quite a bit here too. We all hope so. If it relapses, well, 120 will be fine, to 10 almost. We're buying minus 50% of the minus 50% odds, which is always a good thing, because that's how I think you improve your performance. Quite simply, we're hoping for a pullback on STX survey. For me, the Vetchin is super interesting at the moment. It exploded on pullback, a kind of double pullback, like a small W, but in any case, a perfect pullback for me. He should bounce back even if there's no guarantee, and I think the time is right here. Serve T then, with a wave. What's interesting for me is that from here to here, it's been exceptional from 10 to 50. Just imagine, it's been times 5. It's one of the best performances I've ever seen. We were at the end of October, the end of November into months. 5 times is exceptional, but for me, this increase won't go unheeded. It won't go unheeded. And like many of the 50 to 25 files, I think it's an exceptional price. Explosion times 5 minus 50%. It really is. If it goes back to 25 for latecomers, it'll be a great buy on a max. In conclusion, the text provides insights into the financial market, highlighting potential opportunities in cryptocurrencies and related stocks. The author emphasizes the significance of upcoming meetings of the AC and the Fed, as well as developments such as ETFs and legal disputes. To stay informed about these crucial topics, remember to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and stay tuned for future updates.